Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon TCG video. Today guys, we're going to be taking a look at a deck that's very much so gambler based. So our deck is actually going to revolve around Pokemon such as the Bibarel with the continuous headbutt attack. So pretty much we flip coins until we get tails and we're able to dish out 80 damage per heads that we actually get. Could be a pretty devastating Pokemon. With a mere 2 heads and a muscle band attached to a Bibarel, we can perform massive one-hit EX knockouts. Pretty nice Pokemon. We are ultimately running a 4-4 line of him. Hopefully he can be the main sort of attacker in our deck, but we don't necessarily need to rely on only our Bibarel. We're actually going to be using the Malamar EX as well. So Maximar, another very flip reliant sort of attack, but mainly speaking, we'd rather use our Bibarel's attack. But with the Hyper Hypnosis ability, Malamar EX is just a very sort of solid bench type Pokemon to have as well. So we're ideally going to put our opponent's active Pokemon to sleep, and if we don't exactly get the sort of turnout that we want to when actually attacking with our Bibarel, shouldn't be too big of an issue, provided that our opponent's Pokemon of course remains asleep thanks to our Hyper Hypnosis. Hyper Hypnosis on its own unfortunately might not be enough to actually prevent our opponent's Pokemon from sort of being able to attack. So we're actually going to run Hypnotoxic Lasers as well, just in case we actually don't have a Malamar EX in our bench, or we just can't afford to actually attach an energy to a Malamar EX, for example. And of course, since we are running Hypnotoxic Laser, seems to work quite well with the Burbank City Gym, so we are running 2 copies of Burbank City Gym as well, and we're ultimately running a total of 2 copies of the Dimension Valley Stadium card. Now, why exactly are we running Dimension Valley? Well, that's because one of the main attackers in our deck is going to be the Mew EX, but its versatile ability can actually use any of our bench Pokemon's attacks. So for a single Darkness Energy, our Mew EX would be able to use our Malamar EX's Maximar attack, or for a single double colorless energy, we can actually use the continuous headbutt attack. So Mew EX should absolutely not be underestimated. Especially useful in that our Bibarel takes a minimum of 2 turns to get set up, whereas our Mew EX could get set up for a single energy, provided that we have either a Malamar EX or a Bibarel in our bench. So very nice Pokemon. We are ultimately running 2 copies of him, and of course, since we are very highly dependent on our flip type Pokemon, we're going to be running a total of 2 copies of the Victini with the Victory Star ability, allowing us to essentially flip all over again. So we have 2 chances. First time around, if we absolutely mess up, that's okay. Victini may just be able to save the day. So we're running 2 copies of him. Now we're running a lot of sorts of item type cards that you guys are quite familiar with, so I'll very briefly be discussing them. So Dowsing Machine, we are heavily reliant on our item type cards. Dowsing Machine is going to be absolutely useful, especially say for example for our stadium cards, because we are running 2 copies of each, and in certain cases we possibly want to be able to use our Burbank City Gym again. So Dowsing Machine is there for us, and of course we are running the Starling Megaphone as well. Dowsing Machine allows us to recycle that. Speaking of Starling Megaphone, the reason why we're running it is because we are reliant on our Pokemon special abilities. Pretty much all of our Pokemon actually have special abilities except for our Bibarel, so Starling Megaphone can absolutely be useful, especially if we come across a Garbodor type deck. Don't really encounter a lot of those, but of course it's better to be safe than sorry, so that's why we're running a single count of the Starling Megaphone item card. Of course we're running a total of 2 sorts of switch type cards, so one of them is actually the switch, and then the other one is the escape rope. Doesn't really need any discussing about, and a lot of cards that of course you guys are quite familiar with. So 3 Ultra Balls, 3 VS Seekers, 2 Colruses, 2 Life Senders, 4 Ends, 4 Junipers, and a single Teammates card. Of course the Muscle Band, discussed it, very important, especially in combination with our Bibarel, because the continuous headbutt, we would only need 2 heads to actually be able to perform those big EX knockouts if we actually had the Muscle Band attached to him. However, if we didn't have the Muscle Band, then we would need at least 3 heads in a row, which is kind of unlikely. So that's why Muscle Band is quite important. We are running 3 copies of it, and we're ultimately running a total of 11 energy cards in our deck, 7 of them being Darkness Energies and 4 of them being the double colorless energy. So with that guys, let's go right ahead and see what this deck is made out of. I've been playing around with this deck a lot, and it seems that the inclusion of Malamar EX and the sort of Hypnotoxic Lasers is very nice, just because it allows us to sort of stall and essentially have another chance in case we don't manage to get these sort of flips that we wanted to. So it looks like we're facing a Grass type and Psychic type deck, so I'm assuming it's probably going to be a Virizion EX, Genesect EX deck in combination with the Deoxys EX. And since our opponent doesn't actually have Steel Pokemon, I guess in his sort of variety, he doesn't actually run the Jirachi EX, which is absolutely fine. Virizion EX may actually be one of the decks that give us the most sort of trouble, because our Pokemon we are running cards such as the Hypnotoxic Laser, our Malamar EX's our Malamar EX's Hyper Hypnosis ability, things like that. So Vrisian EX, Genesect EX, hopefully doesn't give us too much of an issue, and don't exactly have the greatest start right now. Hoping that we can get one of our supporter type cards. And say if our opponent actually starts off with a Vrisian EX and lays down a bench Pokemon as well, I'm probably going to actually Lysander it out and then Hypnotoxic Laser our opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, so I have just drawn onto a card, so it looks like I actually have the Bidoof. So I'm actually going to go and start off with the Bidoof. Don't really want our Mew EX to get knocked out right away. So let's go and actually lay him down into our bench and see what our opponent has actually laid down. So 2 Shaman EXs actually. Okay, so maybe he's not running the Vrisian EX, Genesect EX type deck. Again, though, I can't really confirm 100%. So that Shaman EX is going to get laid down. So I'm actually going to go right ahead and poison him thanks to that Verbank City Gem, which our opponent has decided to lay down. Don't really think it was the smartest choice on his part. So let's actually go and attach a Darkness Energy to a Mew EX, and then let's go and use the end for some new cards at hand. Okay, so we do have the Dimension Valley. Don't want to play it just yet. Can't really use any attacks. I mean, I could use the Drench, but then we'd only be hitting for 20 damage. Don't really want to do that just yet. So let's actually go and end our turn. So we actually have the Bibarel at hand as well. So I could actually get our continuous headbutt attack going quite nice and early, in case I do want to switch our Bidoof with the Bibarel. So let's see what our opponent is actually going to do. So he's actually going to do the switch as well, and attach a Muscle Band to his Shaman EX. A little surprising because I thought we were going to face a Mew EX type deck, but looks like I was wrong. Opponent's going to Hypnotoxic Laser our Bidoof, but that's absolutely fine because we do have the Bibarel at hand. And okay, so it looks like our opponent is probably going to have to shuffle around his hand again. So let's actually go and evolve our Bidoof into the Bibarel. And okay, so just thinking what I would like to do, guys, because I think the wiser choice would be to switch into our Mew EX and possibly get rid of that Verbank City Gem. Just thinking if that is what I would like to do. I guess for the time being, I'm actually going to keep that Verbank City Gem on the field, because if we do get a Hypnotoxic Laser, for example, and a single heads with continuous headbutt, we could knock out that Shaman EX and then draw into 2 of our prize cards. So let's actually go and switch into our Mew EX, attach a double colorless energy to him, and then we are actually going to go and use the Juniper. And awesome, so it looks like we do have the Hypnotoxic Laser, so I may have just made the right call, and we also have a Victini EX as well. So a single heads is more than enough to actually knock out our opponent's Shaman EX. So let's actually go and use the Versatile and use that continuous headbutt. Again, a single heads is all we need. Let's go and flip again. Hope that we get wow, extremely unlucky, guys. Looks like we actually flipped 2 tails in a row. So that Shaman EX is going to be still alive right now, and we have actually discarded 2 of our Darkness Energies. We're not running a whole lot of energy cards in our deck, so I am a little bit reluctant when actually discarding our energy type cards. So okay, so I'm probably going to use the Escape Rope on our turn, maybe, and I will be using the Ultra Ball and the Colress as well. Right now our opponent's Shaman EX can do a lot of damage, but with that 6 feet under attack, our opponent's Shaman EXs can actually dish out a whole lot more damage when using that Revenge Blast attack. So let's actually go lay down a Malamar EX, use our Ultra Ball to discard 2 cards, and actually grab onto a Mew EX. I think would be nice. Never know when we may actually need them. Again, because Mew EX can use pretty much all of our Pokemon's attacks. And okay, so when using the switch, now is when I really need to think which Pokemon I want to bring out. So I think I'm actually going to go and switch into our second Mew EX. So let's actually go and bring him out for now. Use the Colress and hope we get into some nice cards. Okay, so I could use any attacks. Let's see what attack I could actually use. It doesn't actually really look like I can really use any sorts of attacks. So let's go and attach a single energy to him, and then we can actually use the Will-O-Wisp attack for a mere 20 damage. Not a lot. Sorry, 10 damage as well. I actually forgot that our opponent has a Darkness type energy, so our Mew EX wasn't even able to hit our opponent for double the amount of damage. Those Shaman EXs could become very menacing very quickly, because through the usage of our opponent's 6 feet under attack, he actually discards one of his prize cards, and that simultaneously allows that Shaman EX to dish out a whole lot more damage. So pretty unique unique and cool strategy that our opponent is using. I've actually really been considering using this other deck as well with the Kofagrigus with the 6 feet under ability. So you guys will probably be seeing that sometime soon. And okay, so now I can absolutely get rid of that Kofagrigus. Looks like he's not actually going to use the 6 feet under ability just yet. So let's go and attach a double colorless energy to our Mew EX, and then use the colorless actually would be better because we can draw an extra card. And okay, so we have another Malamar EX. I don't think I'm actually going to lay that down. I'm actually going to go and discard him as well as our N to bring out another one of our Bidoof, because Bibarel's attack can be quite important. So let's go and actually lay him down, and then let's go and use the versatile to hit Maximar's attack would be better because we do have 3 energy cards attached right now. So let's go and use Maximar, a little bit safer. And okay, looks like we are going to get 2 heads, so let's not flip again, knock out that Kofagrigus, and then draw onto our first prize card. I'm assuming, okay, so it looks like we are going to see a Shaman EX come out, and our Mew EX is probably going to be our active Pokemon, just so that we can actually knock out that Shaman EX. We've only drawn onto a single prize card though, so that Shaman EX actually can't knock out our Mew EX just yet. His Revenge Blast attack would only hit us for 60 damage, so not enough. Our opponent would actually have to discard his Kofagrigus and then allow us to draw into another prize card, which still would not actually be allow that Shaman EX to dish out the right number of damage. So it looks like a Verzian EX is actually going to come out. So Verbank City Gem from here on out may not be the sort of wisest card that we want to use, so we'd probably rather be using our Dimension Valleys instead. So okay, so our opponent is actually going to discard his Pokemon. Again, that Shaman EX can't actually knock out our Mew EX instead. Oh, okay, and he could with the one that he actually decided to lure out. So let's go and bring out our Mew EX all over again. And okay, so let's go and get another one of our Bibarels set up. I'll be attaching a double colorless energy to one of our Bibarels. Don't want to be using our Malamar EX's attack just yet because our opponent would only be able to draw onto a single prize card. And okay, I could use the Dowsing Machine to actually try and get rid of that Verbank City Gem, and then I could use the yeah, so I think that is actually what I'm going to do, guys. So let's go and get rid of that those Verbank City Gems from our hand, and then draw onto one of our Dimension Valleys. Let's go and lay that down, use the VS Seeker to grab out one of our Professor Juniper's. Actually, it's okay, we're only discarding a single one of our double colorless energy, so let's go and use that. And don't really think poisoning our opponent's Pokemon would be all that wise of a choice, so let's go and lay down another one of our Bidoofs, and then let's go and use the versatile attack, use our Maximar's attack, just because we only need a single head. And okay, so it looks like we're actually going to get 3. Let's not flip again, knock out that Shaman EX, and then draw onto 2 of our prize cards. So it looks like we're probably going to win. Mew EX, again, very, very nice card, just because we can pick and choose between our Malamar EX's attacks or our Bibarel's attacks. Looks like our opponent is actually going to put our Mew EX to sleep, which wasn't really even necessary because our Mew EX was going to get knocked out regardless. And okay, so don't have any energy cards at hand right now, guys, and that Verzian EX is out. So I think I'm actually gonna go and bring out our yeah, let's actually go and bring out our Bibarel with only 60 damage remaining. Let's lay down. Okay, awesome. So it looks like we do have a Professor Juniper at hand. So let's actually go and lay down our second Victini Victory Star. Never know if any of our bench Victinis may get knocked out. Let's use the Professor Juniper for some new cards at hand. Put our opponent's Shaman EX to sleep. And oh, sorry, I actually forgot about the Verzian EX. Okay, so let's actually go and attach an energy card to our Bibarel. Should have actually brought him out instead. I mean, we only needed a single heads and we would have been able to win. If our opponent actually has the Lysander, we could be in a little bit of trouble. But luckily our Malamar EX, actually no, our Malamar EX has exactly 170 damage, which is pretty much how much that Shaman EX is able to hit for. So, okay, I've gotten rid of our Switch and our Escape Rope as well. So, hoping, okay, so our opponent's actually going to bring out his Verzian EX, and it may just be up to our Bibarel to try and save the day. Okay, so I'm really hoping for a double colorless energy. I do have the Lysander, So I think we've won the game. Not really sure. It may be a little bit too early to say GG. So let's go and actually lure out that Shimini X. Again, we only need a single heads using our continuous headbutt attack and get a tails. My goodness, this Bibarel is really starting to get me angry. Let's flip one more time. And okay, so it looks like we've just managed to win the game. Thank you guys very much for watching. Bibarel seems to be an extremely unreliable Pokemon, but again, this is a gambler's type deck, so what do you guys expect? Again, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And with that being said, guys, I will